You're listening to Allman in the Morning. Common Sense Radio.
Good morning. So we had on Twitter the whole deal with somebody, I think it was Jacob, who put out the map of where the Vikings and everybody came from.
Okay.
And Norway was not one of the places. I'm looking at Denmark. I'm looking at, let's see, I'm looking at
Iceland, right?
Yeah, they went to, I think they went to Iceland. They were everywhere, the Vikings were. Yeah, I mean...
Norway, not Norway?
Yeah. And then I think what happened is they went from, let's see, it looks like they went from Sweden, Denmark, maybe a little bit of Norway, and then went around Scotland and then dipped into Iceland. And I think Greenland. And I think they were the ones... Didn't somebody call Greenland Iceland to throw them off or something?
I always heard that.
I mean, I don't know. And I'll tell you one thing, though. They had one Viking, though, who was pretty good at catching passes. His name was Stefan Diggs. I know that.
Steps into it. Pass is caught. Diggs! Sideline! Touchdown! Unbelievable! Vikings win it!
Yeah. Great call by Joe Buck, by the way. But, no, back to Norway. See, here's the deal. The Norwegians now apparently are all over Twitter, or some of them at least, deciding they're going to try to shame President Trump over his comments. And keep in mind, the president mentioned Norway because he had just gotten through a meeting with the Norwegian prime minister. That's why the country of Norway even came up. It wasn't just because there are white people there.
Right.
It's because he had just gotten through meeting with the Norwegian prime minister. And so Norway was kind of on his mind.
How people didn't make that link, I don't know.
Well, because they couldn't. If you're going to promote the idea of racism, you also have to leave out El Salvador.
Yep.
Because they have to make sure it's all African nations. And Haiti. So you have to go where black people are in order to kind of make the case, and which is why whenever they started mentioning things, why it went from El Salvador, Haiti, and African nations to African nations in Haiti, within about 30 minutes. Once El Salvador became kind of inconvenient to the President Trump just cut on black countries, that became that they took El Salvador kind of off the list when they were talking about it, which was convenient for them. But anyway, so the Norwegians are all over Twitter. And they're all basically saying, we don't want to come. What makes you think we want to come to the United States? I'm going, well, why would you come to the United States if you're getting government-funded pensions, government-funded health care, government-funded education, and even after they take all your taxes out, you're still the highest median income in the world. So, of course, you're not going to come to the United States of America. Right. And we know that. And then Anne had sent in, she has a friend who lives there and has come and visited her. And so because of the winters being so long and dark, it's apparently really dark there in the wintertime, they can get medical vacations to Spain.
What?
They can take there's an availability through the government health care program to get medical vacations to Spain.
Holy cow.
And the other thing is the taxes are high, but in the fourth quarter, just in time for Christmas, they all get a refund.
Oh my gosh.
So the Norwegian government gives them a Christmas present, so to speak, by giving them some of their money back. Mm-hmm. That's pretty crazy. And then on top of that, and this isn't actually a bad thing, although it's the government doing it, but they don't allow the use of Crisco or corn syrup or any of those things in foods in Norway.
Wow.
What?
Why? They're just
because of the unhealthiness of it.
Yeah.
So they basically banned
Wow.
corn syrup, which actually corn syrup is horrible and is super terrible for you. And it's the root of many health ills, but that should be your choice whether or not you should do it or not.
Yeah.
But in Norway, everybody there is coddled. They're all just a bunch of babies, and the government takes care of them and gives them free vacations and free education and pensions and everything else. So, of course, they're going to sit there on their Twitter and talk about how they'll never come to the U.S. They wouldn't come to the U.S. if Obama was president of the United States.
They have no reason to question the government. They're giving him everything.
Of course. I mean, it's perfect.
Yeah. It's a great setup for the government.
I'm not quite sure there are many of them anyway, as opposed to the U.S. So, I mean, it's really easy to be in that situation in the Norwegian daycare program and night care program,
Living program.
yeah, the Norwegian life program, and I'm sure they're nice people, but they just need to keep their trap shut. That's all about the United States, because they have it really easy over there. And notice, by the way, earlier remember when Dick Durbin was talking about the how offended he was by the president's language associated with accurately depicting these areas. In fact, they had one person, a newspaper in New Guinea, was like, "Yeah, we are pretty much a crap hole. It's pretty bad here."
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of like a Haitian being like, "This is phenomenal.
Yeah, no.
We're living in paradise."
Right. So Dick Durbin is from East St. Louis. And as Jim pointed out earlier, Dick Durbin now lists his hometown as Springfield, Illinois. But it's interesting how he won't own up to or isn't proud of or won't talk about being from East St. Louis. And I guess presumably because there's a that would give some accountability like to him to maybe try to take care of his hometown, but he doesn't give a rip. As long as they vote Democrat, he's fine. Mm-hmm. But it's interesting how he doesn't really say he's from East St. Louis. I wonder why. Hey, Mike, what's going on, man?
Hey, I was just listening to the discussion about all the nonsense about Norway. Yeah, they got it fairly nice there, but when you got a population less than New York City, about 5 million, just over, it's a little bit easier than trying to take care of something the size of the U.S.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's just really it's a hamlet, basically. You know. All right, it's where everybody's running around. I think it's the safety dance people. You go to Norway, it's all a bunch of midgets running around with coats and hats on, dancing
Safety.
in a village with grass huts. You want to play that song just in honor of the
Great song.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, gosh.
Here, got me? Yeah, it's all for this is Norway's national anthem.
We can dance if we want to. We can leave your friends behind. 'Cause your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, well, they're no friends of mine. See, we can go where we want to.
All these happy midgets running around.
Like we come from out of this world, leave the real one far behind.
Following I guess a tall guy around. Yeah. It's hard not to dance if you want to, when you have everything taken care of.
That you've ever wanted, yeah.
I don't know where this video was taken. It might have been. But for our purposes, hey, listen, everybody else is living in a certain level of unreality. Why not us, right? 969-9797, 866-455-9797.